Welcome everyone. My name is Paula Phillips, also known as Journal Artista, and this is stream number 2 today. It's Saturday night over on Ustream.tv. This is a recorded live show. We have a live audience that I'm talking to. So not all the time am I talking to myself. So earlier I was testing my camera. Again, I apologize. I've had technical issues I've had technical issues since last Saturday, and then Wednesday I wasn't feeling well, so it's just been a rough week. So I got lots to catch up on, and like I said earlier this morning, I did a test stream to make sure everything was working. I'm getting the spinning blue circle. Okay, let's hope everything's okay. Um, so this morning we did some jelly plating. I just show that real quick. Well, mostly I dabbed and did jelly plating. So um, we tested them in white and what happens when you do the colors in different orders. This is a crusty bit technique. You can search my YouTube videos. I have a very concise 15-minute YouTube video, and this is a darker one we did that to me kind of looks like camouflage. And at the same time I pulled those, I did a whole bunch of tags. This was using my Coffee Please stencil from Stencil Girl Products. And I keep saying the same thing. Because they look like coffee cups doesn't always mean that they look like that they are coffee. You have to use them like coffee cups. So I apologize, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So if I sniffle, I just try to take a little bit of medication, so hopefully it'll go away here. But like as they say, the show must go on. So tonight, because I'm jelly plated out from this morning, uh, I got some I got lots to catch up on. New markers, pencil sharpeners, coloring books, Midori's, faux dories, all these good stuff. So that we'll talk about. Thanks, Patty. So speaking of Patty, so let's get down to business first. Um, the Maryland Art Weekend. If you took the second survey and you're serious about signing up, the $100 deposit, non-refundable deposit, is due. The last day's on the 1st. So you want to just want to remind everybody of that. I'll say it again a little bit later. It's definitely a go, and I can't wait to do it again this year and spend time with my wonderful friends in the box in real life. So, first thing I'll talk about, again, this isn't the first time I've talked about these, and I'm sure not the first time everybody's heard about them, but I've had an obsession, as I know lots of people do. It started last Valentine's Day. I did watch Miss Vicky B, Romany's Realm, and Miss Vicky B, and then I was hooked. So last Valentine's Day, Simon got me a real. And when I say a real Midori, it's the brand name, right? This is they're made in Thailand. They're supposed to be Japanese though. Anyways, it's actually brand name Midori, Midori. And this is, leather. They come in different colors. And so before I really knew that there was all these other companies that made them, I had to get me one. So this is what they call the traveler's notebook style. This is what I think, I don't know the truth, but I think this is what's started it all, right? So started all these other spin-offs. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. So this traveler's notebook size, oh, it's so smooth. Some people hate that I've got gesso on it, that I scratch it, but these will last a lifetime. I like the worn in look, right? So, in this one, I have different books. Um, this is what they call, I've got a pocket. My wonderful friend Janet made me a a file folder thingamidoo, a tabbed pocket. I've got some Lush stuff in there I want to collage. I've got the Toronto TTC subway map since, I haven't lived in Toronto apparently in 5-6 years, and I forgot, I forget where to go. Even though I took it every day for so long. I got some washi tapes, my friend Rain gave me here. And this is an art journal. Rats. I didn't have the finished art journal ones close. Um, and I need to do it again. I want to, what I was doing for a while, you can check out my Instagram posts. You'll see that, uh, you'll see that I was doing a page a day. Oh, for example, I colored this bad boy. I colored this flower, and I want to put them on that page. So I made myself a little art journal in that one, and there's other stuffs, some stuff, some bullet lists over here, some notes, that type of thing. So this was my first one, and then I heard that, and what got me excited about these. So we've been doing rubber band books now for 4 or 5 years, which I love. And then when I found out they had leather ones, well, that was it. That was it. I couldn't believe it. So thanks, Rain. So this is one that started it all. Well, then on Amazon, I found there was actually a good deal. Maybe Janet will remind me of the company. They're not as well made, but it's still leather. Like you'll see that the elastics are in a funky position, but they're very affordable. This one was, $20, I think. And I have my small books in here. That's why there's a pen, because this one lives in my purse all the time. It matches my purse. And I got the Ecolo type brand books in here. These are the ones I have from Dollarama, and I think that's also Ecolo. So this they call passport size. I think it's 3.5 by 5. I got my thing, 3.5 by 5.5. The Midori. Oh, here, put something in my hand, and I'm pointing with it. The Midori is 4.25 by 8.25. So it is a weird size. Hey, Sandy Chick. Yeah, the company that makes this one is called ZYLC, or if you're in the US, ZYLC. C is in Charlie. Hey, CB. And so, anyways, they're definitely they're still leather. They're still leather, but hi, Linda. They're a little bit more affordable. They're not as good quality leather as some of these other bad boys, but very affordable, very nice. Still feels good in your hand, and like I said, I carry this guy in my purse. That's why I have like shopping lists and that type of thing in that one. So there's those two. So then I found Foxy Fix. I think I found Foxy Dories on Instagram, I'm pretty sure. And so it's foxyfix.com. If you go there and get one for, because I enabled you, just mention my name. They did not sponsor me whatsoever. I bought these bad boys. So what I'm saying about them is, hi, Kathy. It's good to see you. It's been a while. Hi, Glenda. I'm so appreciative that everyone's here. So anyways, these weren't free. I'm not reviewing them. I paid the money, and but still, it's nice. It helps me in the end. So this one is called an avalanche. This particular color, so you can see it's brown leather and it has the crackle. Oh, look at the crackle. The crackle. No, I haven't shown my purse yet. And this, like, look how thick the leather is. I think it's 4 millimeters. I mean, the Midori, the name brand Midori is about half the thickness. Hey, Zandra. So there's different sizes. The size holds Moli Kaye size, right? Um, so I have a couple, like, the Moleskin Kaye. So any of us that used to use the sketchbooks, how big are these? 5 by 8 and 8.25. So that holds that particular size. And I had a lot of these inserts. That's why I had to get so many. Because I have all these other books, right? I need to put something in there. So, hi, Skybag. Hi, Josie. Okay. So, but when I say that this one is, they're by foxyfix.com, but this one is called Avalanche. When I saw a Crackle one, I'm like, ooh, Crackle one. And yes, I'm going to, hi, Deb, I sent you a message on Twitter. uh, yeah, I can't wait to see how this wears. So, the way these come is they have 4 elastics in them. When you have a Midori, you got to do different elastics, and there's a special process. They're not bound the same way, and So, I love this size. I've worked with Midori's in this size, since I started art journaling almost. The hardcover ones, the hardcover sketchbooks with the, I miss Sally K, you know, with the hardcover. Anyways, so that one holds 4 books or more, moleskin size. And so then I had all these A5 books, right? I showed this one. Hey, Carol, I showed this one this morning. I have these Studio O books. I've had these for a long time, actually, to be honest. I bought them at Chapters, which is like Barnes and Noble in the US. And I got um, these flow journals. I found them before Christmas. I bought my mom a set. And I also bought these. I bought these ones at HomeSense, which is like Home Goods in the US. I don't even know who makes them. I'll have to find out if the other ones say that they make them. So this is A5 size, which the books are A5 are 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. So width-wise, they're wider, right? A little bit wider than that size. So the thing about having so many is because I have all these books that I need to fit them in. So the Foxy Fix is coming out with one that's 5 by 7. That's the last one I need, right? So I've been using this one. Side note, my mother, because I bought my mother these flow journals for Christmas, this in their A5 size, she found a K and Company smash book that's a binder that they were selling at Michael's. I don't know if they still sell them at Michael's now. Um, but And so she found a binder that fits these, that is A5. So it's got papers, the Smashbook papers that Can Company has, the nice papers. And she was able to put these books in with an elastic and still have those other books, the other papers. And this is like, yeah, Le Voyager and Snowflake. Oh, what's this one called? What's the leather? Somebody can go on foxyfix.com and find out what the leather. There's different leather names. This is A5, this is extra wide, and this is the A5 side. Exactly. I've had the journals. I gotta find something to hold them. So that's what I'm telling myself. Now, like Simon bought me these ones. Now, if they come out with like I'm screwed. I'll just say that out loud. If they come out with one that holds that holds that holds the size of a composition book, I'll be screwed. Done. So I have been using them. I use them for different things. I showed earlier that I've been doing some cognitive behavior in here. I've been trying to and all of these you can get your name engraved and all this stuff. So Sandstorm, thanks Janet. This one's called Sandstorm. See, it's got texture. They are an investment. They're not cheap by all means. I'm the first one to say it. But truly, they will, if you like this type of thing, they really will last a lifetime because they're such high quality leather. And to me, you know, um, they will just wear. I love what leather looks like, when you wear it. I'm not gonna wear this. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vern. So yeah, thanks, Jane. You'll be on the lookout for composition size. Okay, so enough about those bad boys. And I am not enough. I am going to do some art journaling in this moleskin size, because I really did enjoy. Now, this is thinner paper, right? These Kayes come in thin paper, but I used to glue 2 sheets together. I really like that size. I've done at least, if I'm looking over, you can't see where I'm looking, but I'm looking to see I've got at least 5 moleskin sketchbooks. So I do want to do some art journaling in this particular one as well, some sketching. So yeah, that's foxyfix.com. But of course, there's Chic Sparrow, CHIC. I don't have any of hers. I could only talk about Midori's and Foxy Fix. All right, where to start? So now I'm just going to talk mostly about coloring. Oh, first, before I do that, I've loved Lush for many years. Lush, the cosmetics company, and I got some for Christmas, and they are. Hi, Debbie. They are fresh cosmetics. They're handmade. It's a UK company, but now they're based, no, so don't say now. They're a UK company, but in Canada, for North America, they make them in Canada. They have factories in Canada. So I had all these bags because, Simon bought me some for Christmas. I bought myself Christmas presents. My mom bought me some. So I was taking some inspiration from our wonderful friend Blade the artist, and I made a paper bag book with the paper bags. Now, not the type of paper bag books we did, when we were scrapbooking. This is going to be a journal, and it smells delicious. Oh, if you could smell how, take a sniff. If you could smell, oh, it smells so good. So I butchered the binding. I tried to sew it. I'm not good at sewing. I'm not a bookbinder, my friends. The sewing part of it, like, look, I've got multiple layers, and I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. Look, like it's twisted and all that goodness. So I'm so anyways, I got some stuff here. So some stuff is white, and I just love their bags, you know. And I really love Lush. You can go to lushusa.com or lushusa, lush.ca. So I'm gonna do some art journaling in this. I think I put 5 bags, and it's all uneven. I love that. I just love that. In the U.S., there's lots of Lush stores in the U.S. They used to be all in Macy's. I used to see some in Macy's. Oh, Darcy, well, I mean, my heritage is from the UK, from England. I would love to go see some. Hi, Darcy, by the way. I would love to go see some of the Lush stores. The one on Pool Street, I don't know where that is. Pool. Um, that was like the original one. I would love it. Love it. But there's such, I mean, they really, yeah, we usually have black bags too, Darcy, but it depends on what this, I guess these were Christmas ones. You know what I mean? There's different ones. Um, and I just put this over the side. This you'll see here. So I also made a book out of the small bags. These small bags is what your bath bombs come in, or if you buy something singly, if you don't order online. Um, and some products are vegetarian or vegan. Hi, Marion. So I can't wait to use this. I kept all this stuff. I kept a million of these bags. Again, if you could only smell the deliciousness. Uh, So I used 5 bags. Again, absolutely butchered the pamphlet stitch binding. And look, it's all weird things, you know, all over the place, but I'm gonna have fun working on it. I am. I did flatten this out. I did use some super heavy gel, golden super heavy gel medium to glue this on the spine. So there is those are the 2 books I made. Now to coloring. I can't wait to use, hi Pauline, to use those as an art journal. Okay, so the first thing, before I get into new markers and testing and all this stuff, I'll show you some of because I haven't streamed in a week and a half, I'll show you some of the things. Now, I've shown this before. I did this a little while ago. And this is out of a book by Design Originals. The artist of this one is named Valentina Harper, and you can see her at www.valentinadesign.com. She has books out by Design Originals. Um, and sorry, like I said, I got a frog. So I did color this with marker and then shaded with pencil, different kinds. I think I used polychromos. I think I used Prisma. I used all different ones. And I got a binder, and so I keep that one in the sleeve. Although the sleeve, if you see, the sleeve tones it down. No, Lush is not a baker. Lush is handmade bath and body products. So bath bombs or bubble bars. So the smell is from mostly the bath bombs. If you like that type of stuff, try out Intergalactic. That's my favorite one. And they're not cheap, that's for sure. You're paying for quality though. Um, it's really changed my skin of my face. I've had acne for since I was 11, a long time. So I decided to use a binder because I have all these ones I've colored. For example, you know, I did a whole bunch of Christmas ones. I'm not going to put it in an art journal, but at the same time, when I show someone what I've colored, like my mother, for example, or whatever, I don't want to say, okay, here's this book and that book and this book. You know, I just want to, I wanted to put them all. When I get a Frazzard hole punch, I'll end up putting them in there, right? So they're mostly partially completed or things that I've done and that you can rip out. But some of the books like I'll be showing are are some of them you can't rip out because they're double-sided pages, for example. I also like to see the progression of my shading. For example, I did this fairy a while ago, and the difference between this shading and say, ignore these weird clouds and the weird colors. We'll talk about that later. But compared to the seamless blending I was trying to do with pencil here. So anyway, I like to see the progression. I'm going to put these all in this binder. And I've been working on this one lately. This is just some of the stuff from my niece. I've been working in this book because of, some stressful times. So I thought I'm going to have some happy colors. This one is um it's a it's it says it's a coloring book by Happiness, and Happiness with a Z or Z. Um and it's a UK. I'm not sure if it's made by Australia. I forget. It's not a North American company. This was 13.99 Canadian. You can go to Happy. Let's see. I'm sure there's a website. If you just Google, I guess if you Google happiness with a Z, happiness. So in this one, why I like this one so much was because it's beautiful, number one, but it has these a lot of mandalas in here. And I love the background of these. And there's a quote of everything. Stillness in your mind is a source of happiness. So lots of times, I was inspired with these colors to use these colors. I've never seen the happiness magazines before, right? Um, oh, I did buy some sheet protectors, Jane. I also did that. Yes. They're just in my mother's car because I forgot to bring them home when I visited her and my grandmother yesterday. Anyway, so I love how they have a quote. They have the same thing on this side. And the hardest part for me about coloring, first is trying to find which page I want to do. Second is which color that I want to use, right? Um, so you can be inspired by the colors. This one says, work joyfully and peacefully, knowing that right thoughts and right efforts inevitably bring about right results, by James Allen. I just love that. So, you know, you can get inspired. This one's such an awesome book. So they're not all mandalas. There's, other stuff. Um, do what you can with what you have, with where you are. Theodore Roosevelt, one of our all-time favorite quotes. So there's so many different books out there, but I really like this particular book. So this is what I mean. I wouldn't put these in my binder, because this is one of the books that you would want to keep. And I did no shading in this bad boy. This is all marker. Like I said, sometimes you want to shade, sometimes you just want to do marker or just pencil. And so this one I did this last Wednesday when I was too stressed out to stream. It says a little magic can take you a long way. So if you see here, I started the coloring, right, with marker, and then in the middle, this particular ring, you can see that I shaded. And when I see Crayolas, we'll talk about that in the middle, the Crayola super tips. So if you see these lines, that's like Carrie was doing today. I was trying to make because you get streaks for using those markers. I was trying to make the streaks work for me. And that's why they kind of look like little lines. I was going with the grain, not the grain, I'm not going with the grain of the paper, but I was going with what's the right word? Rats. You know what I mean, Vern. so, so, so I really like this book. Look, got some cute starfish. Don't worry about small things. Everything is small. I really like this book. And again, you can wear the one I just did. you can be inspired by the colors that's already here. So if I tried to match the marker that I use to this particular color, which is what's good, what I like. I was just thinking while I was waiting for my computer to, yeah, orientation, directional. That's the direction. uh, While I was waiting for my computer to reboot tonight, I was looking up at my watercolor stuff and I thought, hey, self, those Peerless watercolors you never use, that would be perfect to sit on the couch. I do all my coloring on the couch while I'm watching TV or spending time with Simon. So I thought this would be fun. I got them all sorted out like I think it's Jane Davenport, right? The way Jane Davenport does it with a file folder and you know, sheet protector. But I thought, hey, I can get my water brush. Let's see if I have an example. I can do an example here. This is another Valentina Harper design from a Design Originals book. But I can take a water brush. Hi, Cheryl. The sharpener I'm going to show is the X-Acto 1010, right, Jean? 1010. So I'll say Arbitrus pink. Get a little bit of something something on there, and then you can look. You can easily color with that. I'm going to go close up when I start actually comparing stuff, or when I'm done the showing and tell, and then I'm doing more doing rather than showing. But isn't that awesome? And then this is so easy to keep on the couch. I completely forget about these Peerless watercolors. Oh, thanks, Jean. It's not. It's the X-Acto 1818. Um. Anyways, I thought about that today, and look, I can keep it in my binder, right? And easy to use. There's not much water when you do something like that, right? Like you don't have to do much water, just have to dab it. A little dab will do ya. Okay, so I also, my friend Lilith Janice, gave me the Artista cat that I just started. I think this was with Sharpie. No, it was with Crayola. So I've got in my binder, I also keep, this is just where I'm testing shades of purple to try to find out. My friend Debbie Epps gave me this page. Obviously I started it and then stopped because I was testing between the Crayola and Sharpie. Sharpie, you get less streaks, if any, maybe sometimes no streaks. But the problem is, if you got a double-sided page, well, forget about it. You can't use Sharpie or alcohol markers, right? Yeah, this cat is from the Creative Haven cats. I bought my mother the owl one, and then I ended up to have both. So one of the first pages I ever colored was the owl that was sitting on books by the same Creative Haven thing. Um, so the ones I'm currently working on, I keep in that as well. This one's from the Fairyland. I shaded this a while ago, the dress a while ago, and just the other night I was shading the wings. But see how not shading, coloring the wings. Super streaks. I'll talk about that in a second. I got some markers. I got some new markers that actually are more even streakier than the Crayolas. I'll talk about that in a second. So I need to shade her wings, and I didn't color this because I'm going to cut her out, so I'm not going to use this fern. Um, so I need to shade the bird and her butterfly wings. Um, this one is out of, oh, rats. I forgot what the name of the book is called. Maybe Ange will tell me. But this is all Sharpie, as you can see. Um, so this is all Sharpie. I think I want to shade just these flowers. Just the flowers, but not all of it Sharpie. So here is Crayola. See the streaks? And if you look at this leaf, you hardly see any streaks. Hi, Angie. Good to see you. Well, yeah, I could put pencils on top of Sharpie. Maybe I'll work on that tonight, see how it works. I was also using some Crayola Super Tips on this one, or those new ones. The new ones are called Razer Frazen Pro Art, I think. I'll show you here in a second. Um, Yeah, and like Carrie was doing today, I was trying to use the streaks to my advantage and trying to shade the face. This is a weird, it's an odd face because they have all this coloring. Living Colors. Yes, it's a penny press book, which you can find at any like grocery store, anywhere. Penny Press is the company that sells crosswords, word search, Sudoku, all those type of books, and now they're doing coloring books. And yeah, so this is a penny press one called Living Colors, and this one, no, they have a different one out all the time. There's different ones. There's a flower one that my mom bought me. There's another one, and you know all the Christmas ones I did was from the Christmas one. So those are the ones I'm currently working on that are loose leaf, and same thing. If you saw in my Midori, where'd it go? That I'm gonna put that one on. So this is the same artist that did this one. This Razzin that did this flower, and I only shaded this bad boy a little bit. But so I'm gonna do the same thing here. Cut some of them out and put. I didn't glue that bad boy on yet. The face is from Flying Colors on Penny Press. Yeah, there's a few Penny Press, and they're reasonable. You can find them anywhere, and they are reasonable. That's for sure. All right, now on to markers. So my friend Ange got me coloring with Sharpies, number one. So of course I had to go out and buy some new Sharpies, because let me tell you, I have not bought any Sharpies in forever. And um, you know, you can use your Crayola markers as watercolors, but what they're not a watercolor marker. Like Dee always says, they're water soluble. So if you got like a mat, years ago we used to use like a CD case or some type of sometimes I use just this, for example. If you put it down like that, now where's my water brush? Um, if you put it down on a non-porous surface, then you can pick it up from the non-porous surface and color with it, no problem. Almost acts like Peerless, right? So, so I bought these. I want to. So it was 100 marker set. They were called. I want to say they were called Pro Art. Maybe somebody can look on Amazon. 100 markers. So I thought, dang, don't they look like the Crayola Super Tips? Um, so they look just like Super Tips, but then when I got them, I'm like, oh no, they have a different bottom. They came in a crazy marker, excuse my reach. They came in a crazy marker thing, but here's the thing. You think, oh, that's a great idea. But when you put them in there, they don't go out, they only go they go this far down, right? And then when you place it on something, they pop back up. So what does that mean? Then you get markers going this way and that way, and it doesn't work. Long story short, Pro Art. Thanks, Gene. So I'm testing them out against the Crayola Super Tips because I do have 100 of the Crayola Super Tips as well. I don't think they sell them anymore, the 100 sets. They're definitely not in stock anymore on Amazon.ca. So the Crayola Super Tips look like this. The Pro Art ones, very similar, but they're streaky. So I'm trying to test them in comparison. The 100 ones in Canada were $29.99. They seem to have slightly different colors. So for example, this is a Crayola Super Tip. This is a Pro Art. We'll look at Sharpies in a second. And again, I'm gonna zoom in here I should show the new books that I have, and then when I start doing some comparisons, then we'll zoom in. So again, I bought a bunch of Sharpies and Bic marks it, which aren't here yet. And you know I love me some Sharpie brush pens, but we won't talk about that right now. There's a retro pop thing of Sharpies and a new one out. How many are in that? 24 different colors or something? But again, you can't use a double-sided page. So I'm going to be a rebel and show the new Harry Potter book. I did show the first Harry Potter book. Excuse me, I need to my nose. Um the first one, what is it? Do you think that they have it on the back? The first one? The first one's all about the people, the movie. Like you see the houses, they have the crests of the houses and all, like, you know, Hermione, all the characters, Night Orla, and that type of stuff. And then this one is called Magical Creatures coloring book. I ordered this. I pre-ordered it. I love Harry Potter. I pre-ordered it and I got it the same. So when you pre-order on Amazon, sometimes you can get it the same day it comes out, that it's released. So anyways, I got this I think Tuesday. And so this one's a magical creatures, and then they're gonna come out in magical places. Uh Magical places, magical objects. I don't know. There's like other ones coming out for the next little while. So these are made by Scholastic. I'm just gonna flip through it. You know, it's the Phoenix. So it's all about the creatures that are in the movies and in the books, right? Sprites. Just quickly go through this. The dogs and just quickly go. Oh, look at Dobby. Oh, everybody loves Dobby. Anyways, I absolutely love it. But what I like about the Harry Potter books, right, is that if you look at when you go to the back, they have the work, they have the colors of what's going on. So again, you don't have to. Hi Shireen. Again, you don't have to, you know, you don't have to remember or go back to the movies. Not that I wouldn't go back to the movies, but it reminds you what colors that these creatures are, right? And I just love that. So this is a magical creatures. I already have the first one. This is one, of course, you can't use Sharpies in because they go. The Amazon is the 100 Crayolas in stock. I'm gonna show in a minute, Jean, what the difference. And I also got, where's the other one? Where's my other? It's my favorite new book that I got. Hold the fort. Is it under here? Is it under there? Nope. Oh, here it is. It fell down. Oh, I lie. I got two more. The first one is the Posh coloring book, and I've been showing that. Now Posh makes a ton of coloring books, and I got it at Shoppers Drug Mart. Yeah, that's a Canadian, like Walgreens in the U.S. It's a Canadian um, drugstore. But Posh has a lot of coloring books, and this one is Inspirational Quotes for Fun and Relaxation by Deborah Mueller. Now, some people may not like this. All the Posh coloring books, I saw a Thomas Kincaid one on Amazon the other day. They're by different artists, right? And some people may not like the artwork in one or the other, but this isn't the exact what I'm sending you, Sherry. No, that I sent you. No. Hey, Carol Ann. Um, No, this isn't the exact one I sent you. Uh, so this one has some awesome quotes in it, and I love. And there's some biblical verses. There's, you know, anything. There's some mantras type of thing. Um, Anything I can imagine, I can do. But so she has a very specific style, right? There's a lot of doodly type stuff, and some very tiny detailed type stuff, right? Focus on the journey, not to decorate the destination. Some people feel the rain, others just get wet. So like I said, this is a very detailed book, but I really like Dreamy. Look at that owl. But you don't have to color every tiny bit of it, right? Like you can. I got some, you know, I got all my pencils here. So I also have in my pencil case some Jelly Roll pens. Like there's, you can if you want to, but I really like do what was right, not what's easy. I just love the sayings in this one. Um, but sometimes people might not like these girls or the art that this artist particularly does. Hey Linda. It says keep your circle positive. I am free. I just love all this stuff. So I've colored. So the first one I've colored And I showed this one on, I have it on Instagram. If you want to follow me at Journal Artista on Instagram or anywhere, I'm Journal Artista, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those fun things. You definitely want to follow me on Twitter and Facebook because you never know when I do a giveaway that like I did recently. Hi, Laurel. So I colored this with mostly markers, Crayola super, no, I lie, probably Stampin' Up markers. And I colored the back with super tips that made it, Crayola that made it very streaky. And then I went over with uh, colored pencil crayon, which is still somewhat streaky, but I didn't do any shading. Sometimes when I'm really stressed out, I don't want to really strain. Um, I don't really, sometimes I don't want to shade. I started this one. Be with those be with those who help your being. But I'm researching the Tim Holtz distress markers. We'll talk about that in a second. And I also did one more in here. Oh, I started this one, and on this page it says again, no shading. Be happy. It drives people crazy. I just love that quote. So I really like. I may have the 50 set of Crayolas and the 100 set. Just saying. So she has a very busy style. Don't get me wrong, very busy. Um, and a lot of people don't like that, but I absolutely love every single saying, quote, mantra, biblical verse, whatever is going on. Um, so I really like this. This one's nice. Before you speak, ask yourself, is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? And most importantly, does it improve upon the silence? So I really, really like this book. And so it's $12.99 American, $14.99 Canadian. If you have a Shoppers Drug Mart, and if you're in Canada, you have a Shoppers Drug Mart close, then you can get it for 25% off. Okay, now that's oh no, one more. So I pre-ordered this Escape to Wonderland book a long time ago. I love Alice in Wonderland. I have a bunch of Alice in Rubberland. Alice in Wonderland rubber stamps. I'm mixing up. Drink some coffee, Paul. So if you guys know like the Johanna Basford books, like Lost Ocean, some of the original coloring books. Um, what other one does she have? Enchanted Forest, and then there's that very first one, that animal one. Anyways, or if you have the Time Chamber, any of those square books, they're like this big, right? They're a lot bigger. So I thought when I saw these ones online, I'll show you here closely in a second. But it looks of like a very similar style, right? And I thought, oh, it's going to be this big book. But no, it's the size of my hand. But like Jeannie said, one of my friends, Jeannie, she said, well, that's good, Paula. That means you can color it quicker. I said, you are right. 7.5 by, yeah, 7.25 by 7.5, something like that. This is illustrated by Good Wives and Warriors. Now, there's more than one already. Probably 10. Secret Garden. Thanks, Allie. Um, the There's more than one Alice in Wonderland coloring book out there for sure. But I like the one that this one. Like everybody has a different style. So I'll just quickly flip through it. This made is Good Wives and Warriors. It's published by Puffin Books. So, and it's got quotes from the book. There's Gone Down the Rabbit Trail. Oh dear, I did. So I really I liked the designs better. A book like this to me, I I want to keep together. Oh, I'm not even on camera. I'm looking at myself. So, see you guys, you like it? Yeah. Oh, look at that crab. So, anyways, so like I said, there's different ones. Research. You know what I really like to do, to be honest? There most of the time, I like to see books. I really like to see books in the bookstore or somebody else review them before I buy them, right? Um, I just, there's just so many out there, and some of them aren't cheap. But like I said, I pre-ordered this one, and I love the designs. And hey, like look at the Cheshire. Oh my gosh, the cat. Beatrix. Oh, you'd like to have a Beatrix Potter coloring book. Um, so anyways, this is the this particular one. Again, check them out. There's different types of Alice in Wonderland coloring books, for example. But I really liked this one, made by Puffin. This one was, it says 14.99 Canadian, UK 6.99 pounds. Probably cheaper in the US too. I did get it on Amazon. Yeah, exactly, sure. You like to see it before you see it. Okay, I promise that's all the show and tell. Let's look at some stuff. Um let me zoom in a little bit. Bye, Sarah, so that you can see more. And then I might have to refocus here in a second. And I apologize if I go off camera when I'm zoomed in, because I'm not really used to zooming in lots, so forgive me. Forgive me. I just want to test to make sure I'm somewhat clear, focused. All right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I have a lot of coloring books, and so what I did the other day when my house was having internet issues is I went through all the coloring books, like this particular one from Design Originals, that are single-sided. And I don't like all, like, I'm not sure if everybody's like this, but I'm not going to color still on autofocus. That's bad news. There's sometimes in certain books, you don't like every page. So I ripped out a whole bunch. I didn't like rip them. They have perforated edges, but literally, I'm not exaggerating. I have a 2-inch stack. Two, here I go again. So I have a 2-inch stack of pages that I'm going to give away. Um, because send them to somebody that needs them. I'd rather send them to somebody that needs them. I have a lap desk that's on the couch. It tilts up. It's a bamboo one I got on Amazon. It's flat, but it also tilts so that it has like three different tilt thing settings. And that one's nice. But yeah, I have to have a lap desk, or my head, my neck is shot. So now, what was I saying? Let's talk about. Oh, I was giving away a bunch of different ones. So I'm going to use, I think, a couple of these pages I was working on for examples. This is Sharpie, so I might do some shading on the Sharpie, but I want to show some of the difference between super tips. Okay, so I'm going to work on this cat. This is out of the wonderful Janice gifted me this. It's out of the Creative Haven cat book. So, well, maybe that's not a good one to work because it's too detailed and you might not see it. I better do one of the mandala ones out of here. Because, when you work on a mandala one, it's easy. Okay. Hey, Miko. All right. My camera's too high. Hold the fort 1 quick second. Let me see if I can move my camera. Ah, ho ho! Perfect. Okay, so like I said, there's a Crayola Super Tips and these Pro Art ones that don't have any label. And they are bigger. You know what? If you look at the Crayola Super Tips, I noticed this the other day when I was comparing them. Like, well, that's not thin enough. If you look at the end of them, man, there's a very small barrel in there somewhere. I'm not sure if I have anything that's, it's very deep. It's like 10x. Dee Dee's gonna love that. It's like 10x. If you guys watch The Curse of Oak Island, you'll understand. Good idea, Sherry. Put some cardstock. Well, I'm not gonna use Sharpies on this anyways because I don't want it to go through. But I need to do this. Okay, so the Sharpies, I'll and the Pro Art ones. I mean, they probably still have a very short. I don't know if it's called a barrel or not, but if you look at the different, they do have different tips, a little bit different. Hold the fort. A tiny bit different. Might not even be able to see it on camera, but it's like Pro Art ripped off. It's like Pro Art ripped off Crayola. So they're not exactly the same. Rats. Now I got them confused. Okay, so let's try the Crayola because in my initial testing, I feel like that these Pro Art ones are streaky. They're streakier, more streaky. um, so let's see. Make sure you guys can see. I'll do a big space so that. And you know what, my friends? We went to Staples and Walmart. Let me tell you, the markers, the Crayola markers and pencils, decimated, my friends. Decimated. Like, I guess because the adult coloring or coloring in general is so popular that, you know, they can't keep them in stock. For example, we were talking about Tombows. Oh, I got some Tim Holtz distress markers I wanted to talk about as well. I was looking at some Tombows because I'm not really happy with the Tim Holtz distress. Talk about that in a minute. But they're all sold out. They're sold out everywhere. Jerry's Artorama, Curry's, every single one of them sold out on Amazon. Curry's is a Canadian website. I guess Amazon. I guess they can't keep up with demand. All these companies. All right, so that was the super tips, and this one are the Pro Art. And I tried to get the same color. Uh-oh, I'm not doing a very good job. My hands. Uh-oh. Wow. I really went outside the lines on that one, my friend. I'm gonna have to color that next one. I don't know if it's the type of thing, like look at what I had to do to make sure let's see if I can do a little bit better. Lots of times I will outline the edge. The way I colors, I outline the edge so I don't go over the lines. Not that it's a big deal. That yeah, in the US as well, some of the ladies are saying that it's everything is sold out. Okay, I don't know about you. You may be able to tell if one's streakier or not, right? But I do find, for some reason, they're similar. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit streakier. That's all I can say. The Pro Art ones. So also, if you look at the back, they are coming through. The Crayola came through a little bit, but because I had to go over so much with the Pro Art ones, that you can see that it went through the back a little bit. Yeah, circular motion. That's also what I learned when I was young. We can do that on the other. Oh, let's see. I got a red. I have a red. What is this? The red Pro Art one. We'll do the middle. I like to outline first. And it also could be my hands. My hands are shaky right now. I guess I am feeling a little bit better. I'm all hyped up on Advil cold and sinus. I was feeling a little crappier earlier. Oh, look, I said I was going to do small circles, and I'm so used to coloring a certain way. They're all sold out of the Crayola markers and Crayola pencils. Trina says she loves her new Tombows, but for underpainting idea that Dee Dee teaches, they're a bit dark. That's also something I understood. I found out that, some of these, because if you're going to put colored pencil crayons on top, they you need to use a lot of lighter colors, or I find I end up using the light ones way more than all right, little circles. Circles. I'm not used to this technique. A little bit better. Who suggested that? I missed it. Um, it's definitely a little less streaky. Again, I always outline, but that's just me. That was, that's from when I was taught a long time ago in school. All right. Hi, Jamie. Good night, Jamie. I didn't see you come in. Oop, oop, oop. So you still see some streaky streaks, right? But yeah, for sure a little bit less. But because I went in circular motion, you can see that this is darker than this one. Or I can see that it's darker than that one. All right. So the next thing, like I said, so I was able, thanks to all your support, I saved up like 4 months of Amazon gift cards from my Amazon affiliates, from you guys, using my link to buy what what you buy on Amazon. You can see that on my website, journalartista.com. You don't pay any more if you go through my link. It's like an advertising fee. Just means Amazon's not getting as much money. So these are the Tim Holtz Distress Markers. There's also some, I wanted to compare them to the Stampin' Up! And Zig. So I have some of those in here. This is my favorite part. This makes me laugh. Store markers horizontally. Okay, so why the heck why did they make a round container, my friends? If they wanted to store horizontally, why did he make a round container? Thanks, Janet. Literally, I get, like, I'm not exact. I get a couple cents on each purchase, but I truly appreciate all that support because, like I said, I'm able to get more art supplies or books to test out, to review for you guys, that type of thing. So, before I talk about distress markers, Tim Holtz distress markers, I bought them because, silly me, I thought that they were the same of Stampin' Up. Now, I've had these Stampin' Up markers, I kid you not. They don't look like this anymore, I don't believe. These ones are I think they're from 2000. I was a demonstrator when they first came to Canada. That must have been like 2001 or 2. Anyway, I've had them for a long time. I have the full 48, right? So, this has a writer pen on one side, same as Tim Holtz. I'll show you here in a second, and a brush. Okay. Now, this is really a brush. Now, it's not like the clean color. They're not like the watercolor clean color Zig clean color markers, right? Um, but the brush, I want to see something hard. The brush actually bends. See how that bends? So when I'm coloring something, you get the thick line, tiny thin, real thin line. I have a lot of control with these markers. And I am 99% positive, and I'm telling you, I've had these forever. Well, I haven't used them very much, but they're still perfect. Zig mark, and I'm 99% sure they're Zig, because um, if you look at, this is a Zig writer from back in the day. Holy, I probably bought these in 2000. Anyway, it's got, this one's particular. They do have Zig's, what they call scroll and brush, I think. These are all water-based right now, water-based markers. Yeah, clean color are actually watercolor markers, not water-soluble markers. That's right, Jean. They're very. I can buy some luminance. They don't even ship. And the companies on Amazon don't ship to Canada, the luminance. But I'd have to save up almost a year to get those bad boys. Anyways, the Caran d'Ache luminance. So the Stampin' Right, like I said, if you look at this Zig marker and the Stampin' Up from a while ago are Zigs. So here, silly me, I thought that the Tim Holtz markers, distress markers, were Zig markers. And I thought, oh, they're going to be as great. I love using the Stampin' Up ones. So let's see a pink one. He doesn't have that many pinks. So here's his distress marker. This is worn lipstick. So we got a brush and a fine tip. The fine tip is the same pen nib as the Zigs. But here's the kicker. He calls it a brush tip. Not he. I'm not I'm not hating on Tim Holtz. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna get hate mail. Hate mail. Um. Anyways, they only the tiniest bit of the tip flexes. The rest of the marker, or mine anyways, are hard. Maybe you have to break them in. Maybe you have to break them in. But listen to this. Can you hear it? I'm gonna go close to the camera. They are scratchy, my friends. Scratchy. If you use the Zig ones or the old Stampin' Up ones, you know, you don't hear nothing. It's not scratchy. And they bend. So I'm still researching them. Still researching them. Still researching. But what are not the same, Gene? So I just don't like, maybe I'm not pressing hard enough, but to me, if I don't know if I can get close enough to show you, the tiniest of the tip flexes. And I'm thinking to myself, the more I use these bad boys, because you're not using the whole, I mean, I guess you can do a little bit on the side, but I don't have as much control as the zigs. No, the zigs in distress. I thought they were, Gina. That's what I mean. I thought they were the same as zigs. That's why I ordered them. But they are so not. So not. Um, so uh I bought them because I thought they were gonna be different colors than the zigs or um or whatnot. But yeah, no, he makes them for the different watercolor stuff, or it's not like you can't do the same things for this. Back in the day, that's what we used. Color it on a stamp. Well, maybe I don't want to use this. I don't want to damage my marker, but anyways, that's what we did. We colored on the stamp, we huffed on it, we stamped with it. It's exactly the same. Anyway, we won't go there. We're done. I'm done. But anyways, I didn't like the tip and these bad boys aren't cheap. But what's good about them is if you like distressed products and and I do, right? Don't get me wrong. Look, I got a ton of distress stain sprays. I love distress stains, especially the white. I've got a ton of the distress, but there's certain things, Timmy. Anyway, maybe they're used for something different, but I didn't like the control for the price as these ones, right? They um they just have a real nice brush tip. Now they're not a real brush like the Zig Clean Color ones, but to be honest, the Zig Clean Color markers, watercolor markers, are very expensive. So yeah, you got to make sure too that you really, you're right, Gene. Even these, Pro Art and Sharpies. You think it's closed, right? But you really gotta see, you hear that click? Gotta put your back into this, my friends. Every marker has pros and cons, and every marker, that's why I like to test them, my friends, because you may do something different with your markers than I do with them, right? So I might say, okay, I'm going to play around with his techniques the way he uses them and see if they're better. But um for coloring and coloring books, I don't like them as much as I do the Stampin' Up or the Zig Scroll and Brush. That's all I mean. So far, um, like I say, not so impressed, but I'm gonna give them a chance and do different things with them, right? And um see how they go. But yeah, even your super tips, right? The Crayola ones, you put it on, you think it's closed, and you really have to press. You really have, especially these Pro Art ones, the same. You think it's closed, and then you have to press down. That's with any marker. You really got to make sure your caps are on. Make sure you close your caps, my friends. All right. We talked about Timmy markers. We're not going to go there. I'm going to work with, uh, so, the old Stampin' Up. Now, I don't know what type of pens, markers Stampin' Up has anymore, and if they look if they look like this or not um, anymore. You know, if they look like the Zig ones, they still sell Zig scroll and brush markers. But I've really liked using the Stampin' Up. Um, I know I'm gonna ruin my color pattern here. Well, there's no ruin. There's no right or wrong way, right? But I really like the control of these particular markers. And you know what, my friends? I am just so happy that after 10 years, I'm using them. And it actually makes short work of it, right? But I'm barely touching, and you get less streaks. You know, I just have more control. Like I said, I'm going to keep repeating myself. More control with brush tips than Crayola, especially in smaller areas. All right. Oh, we're going to do Sharpies here in a second. Here's some Sharpies. I'm going to start going with, we're just talking markers. So I have, um, in my humble opinion, definitely Crayola and these Pro Art, and you can get 100, and the 100 Pro Art, right? The color sinks in too much with what marker, Darcy? Which particular one? Every coloring book's different as well, different paper and such. But which colors? The Stampin' Up. I haven't had too much problem with Stampin' Up. Sometimes the Crayolas, because I go over them so much more than I do the Stampin' Up ones. Hi, Carol. So I've been going back and forth, and I'll use them all on the same page. Oh, the distress markers sink in too much. It depends on the paper. Actually, the other one I tried, they didn't sink too much. Actually, they didn't sink in. They didn't. They didn't show up on the other side. But like you got a different pages. But this is true when you say different strokes for different folks, right? So I really want to try the Tombos. Like I was asking Eileen, man, oh man, I had Tombos. I don't even know if they look the same. I was going to ask Eileen to take a picture of the old ones. I got them when I first started stamping in the late 90s. And the ginormous Marvy, thick Marvy markers. So I don't know if they look exactly the same as they did then. But I really like the control with this particular brush marker. All right, so while that's drying, uh, so like I say, in this box, this is one of those Iris box that you can get like $4 in Canada, probably $3 in the US, where I have these particular markers. I didn't bring in all my markers because I have them in another tote in my room. So this is where I keep in my Pro Arts and my Sharpies and my Bic markets, and that's why I'm keeping those. Now, pencils. So I'm researching pencils. I have a few sets. I think I have them all except Luminance. I'm going to back out here in a second. Night, Sandra. Did you finish your cleaning? I never asked. Uh-oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh no. Rats. This is bad news. Somehow I closed my camera's control, and when you, for some reason, oh no, there it popped up. Okay, we're good. Crisis averted. Excuse me for a second. I want to back out to show what my pencil case looks like. And I got the idea from Inkwell Didi, of course, years ago. And so I have one for markers and one for pencils. And now I think I need another one for mark. Anyway, but I'm using them. That's my excuse. I truly am using them. Right? Right? I keep telling myself that. Everything's okay as long as you're using them. All right. Yeah, no, I'm talking old Marvy markers. old. We won't go there. They've been kicking for a while. I showed them a long time ago. Okay, so my pencils, yeah, Luminance is the only kind of main pencil that I haven't used. Like I haven't tried the Prima ones, which apparently are, what's that company's name? Somebody in chat will tell me it's eluding me again at the moment. They also make markers, and now they make watercolor. Uh, Rats. I can see it in my head. I need to drink some coffee. Look, I'm talking all the time, and I'm not drinking anything over here. That's right, Linda. My new motto, I'm using them up because I can always buy more, right? Always buy more. All right, this is one of those toes. I need to buy another one. They're cheap at Michael's. You get them with the coupon. And now I have in here, these are my jelly roll pens, secure jelly roll pens. There's metallics. There's what are these ones called? These are nice for fine details. And let me tell you, jelly rolls last forever, my friends, except the glaze pens. You gotta be careful with the glaze pens because Spectrum Noir. Thanks, Miko. Spectrum Noir. The glaze pens, anytime I've got them, they've exploded, my friends. Exploded on me. I don't know if anybody else has had that problem, but they've exploded. So here I have more of my watercolor stuff. Recently, I bought some Prismacolor watercolor pencils and the small set when they were on super sale. I got some Derwent. This is like water soluble pencils. Here I've got my Prismacolor Scholar, and I really like the Scholars, to be honest, for the price. Um, they actually work pretty well. You can see that the green, this is the ones I was using at Christmas. The blacks and the greens and the reds, so they're pretty worn down because I used them. Not as worn down as some of them, but you know. And these are the other Prismas, the 100 and the big set, and I also have the very thins. Now the very thins are very thin, and one of the things that I like about Verithins is that, sorry, I'm looking, sorry if my head's in the way. I have a black one. I'll show that in a second. I really like when you color something and you go over it with other colored pencil crayons when you do your shading. Sometimes you color over the black line, and sometimes it's nice to put that black back in. Uh, so I also got some. I've got my Derwent color softs in here that I've had for a while, and these are Polychromos, Faber-Castell Polychromos. I got the 24 set. And so it's kind of hard for me to research these, to test these, because I need about 3 colors in a color family. But so I'm hoping soon I can buy a couple more in open stock. And of course the Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils, I have the 20 set. And they're an oil base. Apparently both the Polychromos and the Pablo Caran d'Ache are oil based, but I haven't researched them enough to be able to recommend them to anybody, right? I believe, okay, so I've used the Prismas for quite a few hours, but I haven't used these other ones enough to be able to say, oh, there's this one, whatever. So I'm still working on that. And over here I have some old Stampin' Up. Oh no, I lie. These are Derwent Inktense. And then I have Stampin' Up old Stampin' Up watercolors in there. So pencil wise, this is what I'm sorting. And like I said, I have a marker in the same size. And this bad boy is heavy. I just made Simon bring it into me before we started. And he's like, this is heavy. I'm like, yeah, little. When you're using them, they become small. Well, here's the thing. You want the truth, Janice? Or Janet? So, and Darcy's not going to feel bad here. I've had a Sanford set of 132 Prismas for, oh my goodness, 5 years maybe? Not as long as some of these markers I have had, but you know, quite a while. Uh, and then I'm like, well, that's 132. You have to have, I need to have the 150 set. Need to have 150 set. So I bought the 150 set. So when I bought the 150 set, I put away. So all this time I've been using the Sanford ones. So they are smaller. The Sanford ones that I've been using, like when I colored Xandra's gift and all of this stuff that I've shaded up until the last maybe 3 weeks, I was using them. So they're smaller. So these ones are my new set. That's why they're longer. Because I put the other ones, I retired them. I'm treasuring the other ones, and now I've got my premier. I got the premier ones in there. Oh my goodness. Tech Writer gel pens. All right. So, oh, that's what I was going to do. We're going to find that page. Where'd that page go? Just have it here. So I colored this one with Sharpies, and the blue was Super Tips. So, do we want to use Prismas? Do I want to use, what do you guys want to see? Prismas, Polychromos, Pablo? Ooh, that's something I wanted to show you. My wonderful friend Colleen with 1L, she shared a picture on Twitter. So this is the Faber-Castell, like I said, I have 24 of the, I would like to buy more of these, like I said. I wouldn't mind buying the thing with Faber-Castell, if you buy a bigger set, like the 60 set, then you're going to have doubles. And then what am I going to do with all the doubles? Anyway, so this was a tin, and I mean, you have all the tins, and for a long time I was saving all the tins, but most of the time now I'm just recycling them. But this one has a hinge. I'm going to take this out. But so what Colleen showed on Twitter, which I thought was a great idea, because what I've been doing was putting them maybe in a cup or the pencils I'm using. So what Colleen is doing, okay, whether it's markers or pencils, the one, you know, because you're using certain ones, like I'm not going to be able to shade this bad boy in one sitting. I can't anyway. Some people are great like Dee and can. But so Colleen's using this like for her current pencils. And then like Carrie said, then they don't roll around off your desk. What a great idea. So I will be employing that idea from now on. Just saying. Yes, my precious. My precious. I pet them. I smell them. I pet them. I don't lick them. The pencil. That's one step too far, my friends. One step too far. Night, Veronica. Sorry, my nose is running up a storm. All right. Anybody say which ones they want to see? Prismas. We might do them all, or many of them. All right, because I've yapped. Look, I've been talking now at you for over an hour. Over an hour. Okay, so we might. So the pinks. Well, see, this is the heart. The Polychromos I have, Faber-Castell Polychromos, doesn't have a pink. Now, I know you could layer them to make your own pink. You know. Don't. You know what I mean, Vern. But night, Caroline. So I'm going to do these flowers. So it's hard for me to use polychromos. I don't have the right color of pink. I don't have any pink. I think it comes with the purple. Like I said, this is the 24 set. Helio blue, reddish, ultramarine, light ultramarine, phthalo blue. Nope. And of course, I've swatched all these bad boys. They're in the living room. So you can see some of those pictures too on Instagram. So I guess I'll use, I think Pablo's have some pink actually that I bought. They do. So I always have something going on here that I try to match colors. I mean, you don't have to, right? I think I'll use a purple. And so I've got 4 different purples here. pinks and purples, I should say. Definitely, I think I need to use this one. Oh, off camera. I apologize. Let's just see. Test those. The darker one. I think this other one's too light. So that purple, I think I'll use. The middle pink, I think I'll use these three. This one, no, this one's like a peach color. Peach color. Yeah, no, I definitely feel better, Robin. Like now it's not congested. Now my nose is running. And we won't talk about what I do when the when my nose runs. Okay, so some of these I need to sharpen. So sharpeners for me, I have a ton. My friend Zandra, who just left, gave me this one. I forget the name of it. Rats. I thought I saved the packaging. It's very heavy. I call it the bullet one. I don't know if that's what it is. But I mean, any handheld one you use, you have to change the blades every once in a while, right? So they're all vibrant. All the pencils are vibrant. They're just some of them or some of them are oil, some of them are waxed, that type of thing. So they have different colors. So I have purchased a lot of colored colored pencil books. My favorite one is by Gary Green. I have more than one of his books. Hold on. This one's called The Ultimate Colored Pencil Guide. If you go to my Amazon store, if you're on my website that says Journal Artista recommends, I have this book in there. This one actually came with a DVD. This is a Northlight book. It's the same company that produced my DVD. Um, I have a DVD that I taped years ago called uh, Layered and Textured Backgrounds. Rats, I forget. I look very different. Let me just say. Um, Night, Carrie. So when he describes what I like about this particular book, look, he shows all like Caran d'Ache Luminance. He shows all the color swatches with the name, all that, right? He compares them, for example. So this might be old because it says Verithin are made by Sanford, Prismacolor Premier, Sanford, but yeah, Sanford, Barrel. Anyways, so it tells pencil type. So Prismacolors Premiers are waxed and soft. Verithins are waxed and hard. The Prismacolor Art Sticks are waxed and soft. Derwent Color Soft, wax and soft. But I find the Derwent Color Soft for myself are a little scratchy. Derwent Artists are waxed. They're medium hard. They have 120 colors. They're expensive bad boys too. Luminance are wax and soft by Caran d'Ache. Polychromos are oil and soft. Pablos are oil and soft. It tells you where they're made. Super colors, neo colors. Super colors are water soluble because this artist uses them all interchangeably, and so he's got the color. But what he says, long story short, what he says in here is that depending on the color, because they all have slightly different colors, right? So he'll switch from a wax based to an oil based and back and forth in the same piece of art because it might have a different shade, a different color of, that particular thing. So he talks about, different papers that have tooth and, pressing and what happens if you have a sharp pencil versus a duller pencil. Talks about erasers, turpentine, different solvents used for blending. I don't use any solvents yet. I'm just using pencil. Not saying you can't use solvents, don't get me wrong. So it talks a lot about all the different problems you go through. I really like this book. If you're new, or even if you use colored pencil crayons for a long time. Now I say colored pencil crayons because us in Canada, we've said pencil crayons forever, and I know in the US they're called colored pencils. So I mix the two. I call them colored pencil crayons. Um, yeah, Master's Touch is a Hobby Lobby brand. We don't have Hobby Lobby in Canada. So, they also have demonstrations in the back. See, this is what confuses me, being new to all this. what color to start with, what color to end with, how do you blend it, and he goes step by step. Not only does he go step by step, he tells you which Prismacolor colors or which Faber-Castell polychrome, you know what I mean, Vern? What colors he used even. That helps me. I'm not sure if it helps anybody else, but he has close-ups of different things, how he sketches it out. But I really find it interesting, his color layering process. And like I said, he has a DVD, so there's so much good stuff. So much good stuff in this book. These ones are, and like I said, it comes with a DVD, and this book is $29.99 American, $33.99 Canadian, of course, cheaper on Amazon. Again, you can check it out at Artist Network, www.artistsnetwork.com, and that's where you can also find my DVD if you search under Paula Phillips. All right, gotta plug myself. I hate doing that. I can sell anybody else's stuff. I was saying this morning, but if it's my own stencils or my own DVD or a class, I have a hard time. I feel terrible. Like I feel bad. So, okay, are we close enough? Are we close enough? Oh, sharpeners. So Xandra gave me that bad boy. It's nice and heavy, but what I worry about is how am I going to change the blade? Maybe the pencil sharpeners have the same blades. I don't know if this guy is expensive or not because the wonderful Xandra gifted it to me. I did buy the Prismacolor Premier one. This one has two thingamadoos. It has like a stubbier stubby one and a long one. But see, here I am being ignorant to all of this. Like, ignorant as in I don't know, not ignorant as being rude. Um, I thought for sure, and most of the time when I'm sharpening a pencil, boy, I really look. I take my time. But anyways, I know there's controversy out there, but so I thought that, okay, here's the stubby one. You're supposed to do that one first, right? Where am I? Oh my gosh. Please tell me you can't hear Simon snoring. I thought you did the stubby side first, and then, okay, here you got a thicker lead, or you got the stubby one, and then you went into the other side and you get a fine point. I'm pretty sure. See, look how sharp that is now. Some people, I think, they think, okay, I want this point. I think it's a double, you have to do it two different ones. Marion bought that bullet sharpener and got it at Amazon. Marion, my friend, do you remember what it's called? Oh, Janet says it's made by Alvin, like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin. So that's how I use that one. And I really look at the blade because for me, I should try it with one of my cheaper ones, like the student uh, scholars, Prisma scholars, not my fancy Pablos. Because for me, if I don't watch what I'm doing, like take it out of the thing, which am I using, the stubby end or the thicker? Yeah. So what happens if for me anyways, if I over sharpen it and it ends up going all the way to the back of the end, then that's going to break on me. I'm only talking about my experience. I don't think there's a right or wrong way, you know. You know what I mean, Vern. I'm just showing you what I do. Okay. Then, but most of the time these days, I've been using my power tool, the X-Acto 1818. I bought it on Amazon. I think it's pretty. Now, I think it was our friend Judy that says that they sell electric pencil sharpeners at Walmart. Well, not my Walmart. We looked. They sell them at Staples. My mom just got one at Staples. But anyways, this bad boy. Now, let me unplug it. Safety first. I gotta unplug it before I open the chamber. I've already taken most of the shavings out here. I'm gonna have to tell Simon. He is snoring up a storm out there. Alright, so it's, one of those grinder type things like back in the day. But these days, is that, these days they have what they call an auto stop. So it's not like you just continue going, although If you use charcoal pencils in this bad boy, they'll continue to go all the way. You're gonna chew up that pen. It doesn't stop, but it's miraculous. I can't stop like talking about this bad boy. Just like my new electric heating blanket. It's like the best thing in the world. Um, it stops automatically. It's amazing. I can't believe that it stops. So it doesn't chew it up. So let's see again one of the scholars. So it has some resistance. And when you feel that resistance, right, then you know that it's done. So here we go. So I felt inside, you feel it stop, right? Then you pull it out. And you get this tip that's so fine. Now, if you read the Gary Green book, he talks about when you have a real fine tip, and this makes sense to me. The tooth of the paper. If you have a fine tip, excuse my band-aid. I cut myself on a corrugated box. I haven't done that in 4 years since I worked for the box company. Anyways, he talks about the tooth of the paper. If you're using a really sharp point, he says, it's easier to go in the grooves of the tooth of the paper. If you use a stubby point, it goes across the top, and it it's harder to blend. Now, I mean, I'm not saying not any of that matters if you're just, playing around in your coloring book, but it's something to think about. But for me, using this fancy thing as well, it stops me from pressing too hard, right? Because it'll end up breaking. So to blend, I can do some, light pressure to blend it out, right? Oop, I'm not even on camera. Um, does that make sense? It's so not only does it help your pencil from not breaking, it it helps you from not breaking it when you're coloring because you can't uh, press too hard. All right, so the same thing with this pink. This is a Pablo, which is a hexagon, right? Hexagon. It's not round. It's not round. Hold the fort. And so same thing. But it stops. You don't like I can't believe that it stops. It blows my mind. That's all I gotta say. It blows my mind. Technology, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let me just do my Inktense work in here too. Now, here's the problem. Inktense will get stuck if you got this silly sticker on it. I know Dee talks a lot about that as well. The stickers they put on them sometimes when you buy them single. So when you got this sticker, you gotta be careful because it's, Derwent Inktense pencils are thicker. It has a thicker diameter than most other pencils, so a bigger diameter. Oh, Marion Knott is showing that you can get Alvin brass bullet sharpener replacement blades. Item number 9866B SRP. They're $3.65 a pack. I have some KUM pencil sharpeners too. Actually, I think I might have it right here. Hold the fort. I have, like everybody, more than one pencil sharpener. Oh, this is the KUM Ellipse, KUM. And this is a good for traveling. This one doesn't have more than one blade. KUM blades like KUM. Apparently they're made in Germany. They're really good. I have a red one. Oh, never mind. It's in my other. I brought them to my sister's house the other day when I was watching my niece. Anyways, when you buy the red one that also has a double I haven't tried the Prismacolor Scholar. It also has like a double thingamajiggy. Double thingamajiggy. A double blade like this to get your pencil really sharp point. And it has it's red. In it has extra blades already, like in the back of it that you can screw in. Now, wear some cut resistant gloves, my friends. The safety manager in me. Okay, let's chat. Let's chat more coloring, right? So I'm going to take the lightest I don't even want, didn't even want to use that light pink. The lightest pink I'm going to use. Should I try to go in one, even one more? Even one more? So Pablo's, like I said, are oil-based, and I am going in circular motions. I don't know if there's any right way or wrong way. Um, I know you can do cross hatching, you can go whatever. So when I use the same color, I'm just trying to match the color that I already put down so that there's no streaks. But at the same time, because I use Sharpie on this bad boy, there aren't as many streaks as the Crayola. And therefore, maybe we can get away with not doing this particular layer. You're not going to be able to see that there's any difference. My mom's been coloring a lot, and she thinks she has a sore arm from coloring with her right arm all the time. And I said, well, I don't usually have a sore arm. Sometimes I have a sore neck and sore lips because I stick my tongue out when I'm coloring. Yeah, the KUM sharpener is one that you use both holes to sharpen each pen and or each pencil. And like I said, it's got replacement blades right into it. So I suppose if your blade in your pencil sharpener is, breaking the wood in your pencil, you need to change your blade. All right. So this pink here, this darker pink, was already on, the lines were already there on the page. So all I did was take the the marker to draw. I took the marker in there to shade it, but so I start with the lightest and then I go to the darkest. But I've played around. That's another thing I've been working on, right? I've been playing around the order from light to dark, from dark to light, that type of thing. Did anyone say, is it okay? Can you see anything? Now, I mean, I'm just new to all this blending and everything, I know is from reading books or watching Dee and practice and trying different things. Okay, what happens if I stroke? What happens if I do a stroke like this to go with the grain? Because you watch some videos and some books say that, right? What happens if I crosshatch? Right? What happens if I go in circles? All that stuff matters. All that stuff matters. Actually, that was the medium color. I lied. Oh, I'm not even on camera. Am I on camera? Which one am I coloring? This one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need to change your blades when it's shaving the wood rather than cutting the wood. Yeah. So again, I'm going to do the darker color up here. Yell at me if I'm off camera, because like I said, I'm so used to art journaling and using, say, for, I've streamed a certain way for 5 years. So, and it's never zoomed in. It's never zoomed in. So I got to get used to this type of thing. And I just go back and forth. I'm going back with the lighter color. I'll pull it out, right? And then if I think it needs to be darker, I'll go back in with the darker right at the beginning. Like, it's just, to me anyways, it's back and forth. But I'm trying to be looser. For example, I thought I had my rats. I'll have to find it later. Oh no, it's right. Oh my goodness, it's right in front of my face. So I did this, that doesn't help. Here's my black piece of paper. I did these Christmas balls. Where's Linda? Christmas ornaments. So if you look at, say the green right here, see how you can see the strokes? So I wasn't trying to be as seamless. Sometimes I think I obsess too much, or I'm also practicing being seamless, right? And but that doesn't mean that you have to be seamless. Like, that doesn't look bad. This was colored all with Prismacolor Scholar. And Prismacolor Scholar might be a little less pigmented than the premiers. But I'm telling you, I'm really happy with the price. Um, so yeah, I'm not as smooth with shading the ornaments, but still looks good, eh? You know what I mean, Vern? Not where I try, if you see some of my other pages like these, I'm trying to have a seamless blend, you know, because I'm learning and I want to practice being seamless so that, you know, maybe I can grow up and be like Dee Dee. So I want to be, you know, it depends on what you want to do, what you're practicing. So sometimes it's okay to be a little bit more loose and get something done, and sometimes you want to spend hours and do something completely seamless. So it, you know, it's whatever your goals are and what you choose to do. One thing I want to talk about, Prismacolor, they say the wood is off center, which is true. So I'll find one that's off center. So, and I know you shouldn't have to do this, right? You shouldn't have to do this. I'm not reading that out loud. You shouldn't have to do this, but what I've been doing, okay, is this blurry? So if you look at this, the wood here is higher because this is off center than the wood on this side. Bigger wood, smaller wood. All right. So if I have a pencil that has, you know, you sharpen it, here's where I'm sharpening it normally, right? And then all of a sudden, uh-oh, like look, I have much bigger wood on that side, but on this side, the wood's gone down. So because I'm crazy like that, I'll say, okay, self, I'm gonna put this in the pencil sharpener a little bit, like depends if you're right or left-handed, and I'm only gonna sharpen half of it. I know you don't shouldn't have to do this. So I'm trying to even up the the sizes of the wood, right? So see now, oops, see now the wood is even. I just fixed the wood. Today's not Woodless Wednesday. I usually do Woodless Wednesdays, and you know, I used to always call my shows. I've been streaming for 5 years, so for a long time I called my shows um, Stencil Saturday and Woodless Wednesday, meaning on Wednesday I wouldn't use any pencils or, you know, I used to use a lot of say watercolor crayons like Derwent or something like that, right? Um, so yeah, so you're gonna have less breakage when you even out the wood. I know you like, you know, I know you're not supposed to have to do that, but then that's how I get it not to break. That's what I mean. I go slow. I watch it and to make sure. Anyways, you know what I mean, Vern. I've called them Woodless Wednesdays forever. Sandy, you don't remember that? Yeah, do what you have to do. Doesn't mean you should have to do it, but hey, that's what I. Or use an electric sharpener. Anyway, that's just, well, I'm just showing you what I do. I know there's no right or wrong way. And, you know, nobody should have to take a minute, couple minutes to make sure your wood is straight, your wood is even. But, uh, because yeah, the unevenness, because that's why that pencil I just did, you can see that's where the core is not, the pigment's not centered. And I know you shouldn't be able to have to do it, but that's what I do to keep those bad boys from not breaking. If my electric sharpener, if my you know what I mean, Vern. All right, so go back to the darker color, and if I really want to contrast, I've been practicing, you know, using the black. So, and that's why I bought a whole bunch of Prismacolor black. So I'll use Prismacolor black here. Rather frozen. I guess I need to go buy some more open stock blacks because I can't seem to find one. This one is 90% gray. Rats, where are all my black pencils? All right, Mom. If you're out there watching, we're definitely got to go to Dessert's this week. All right, I'll go to the Pablo's and we'll find the black one here. Maybe. Maybe. Where's Patty? Is Patty reading that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so sometimes I put a little. Oh, got it. Gotta sharpen the bad boy. Now, put Patty and I together in real life. I am the exact, my friends, I'm the exact same person in real life as I am right here online, except I don't swear online, but only because there may be some, you never know who's watching, right? And you never know who's watching, and I know there's some people have some granddaughters and daughters that watch me that are younger, and so I don't want to, you know, but in real life, when it's us girls, forget about it. I'm dropping F-bombs like nobody's business, right? I worked in a factory for so long. I don't, to be honest though, I don't swear too much at home, right? Like I never swear at Simon, but you know, when I started in the box factory, so see I put some black and I'm gonna pull that black in with the darkest shade. When I worked in the box factory, man, I was 19 years old as a, one of 6 women that worked in the plant. And if you didn't, like, you had to, unfortunately, acclimate like that, or they just run you over. You know what I mean? So now when I became a manager, if I was doing training or whatever, I wouldn't swear. You gotta pick the right time and place for when you do it. All right, so the lightest, I'm pulling that in. So I just go back and forth. And again, it depends how deep, how dark you want it. Um, Sweet loving goodness, I didn't do that one on purpose. But Patty and I, in real life, like I said, that's the only thing. Sometimes in real life I swear, but I'm the exact same person. I think, anyways, maybe some of the people that know me in here. So just go back and forth till you get the look that you want to, some people would just stop at this point. And see, look, I gotta practice what Colleen taught me, right? Well, these pens don't roll around. Pencils don't roll around because they're Pablo's, right? Oh yeah, let's throw. Simon, Simon, hold on, I'm loud. Simon, Simon, are you awake? Can you pass me my purse, please? It's on the floor. All right, so depends on how much you want the shade, right? How seamless. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? It definitely pops it out. Again, I'm gonna back up. Back up. Oh, I was gonna do this. Uh at my hair salon, they had this pin-up boudoir event where you could, I know we're going off topic here, but you could, for $150, they do your hair, makeup, and give you some clothes to look like a pin-up girl, and then they take pictures like a professional, whatever. But I only wear sport bras, so I'd have to go and buy a new bra. Anyways, we won't go on there, so I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay, Could you hear him swearing, Jane? Oh man, he was really swearing. But snoring. Let's drink some coffee, Paula. You shouldn't be sleeping. Okay, so this is a Roots purse. Roots is a Canadian company, but I do know you can get them in the US. And so it's all leather. This one is brown. It's this woven design. He probably spent way too much money on it, but it will last a lifetime. I have now 4 different Roots purses of all different sizes. I don't need another one, that's for sure. And then on this side is where I keep my phone. On this little, usually this is the perfect size for my phone. Where is it? Well, I have a Samsung 5S, and I fit that in there. And it's a crossbody. I like to I always wear my bag crossbody. Um, that's just because I don't drive, right? So I'm usually wearing it if I'm going downtown, if I'm on the bus, whatever's going on, it's hard when you have like a handbag, a purse that you're carrying, you know, as my wonderful good friend um Laurel says, her pocketbook. Like, it's hard to carry, even though you could. This one you don't have to have the shoulder, strap, but I always wear crossbody. So then inside, right? Now there's some feminine stuff in here, right? I got the some feminine stuff and some Advil, but it's got a real deep pocket on this side. Here's my Lush vanilla solid perfume. Oh, it's delicious. Have a smell. Um, and then I have a pencil sharpener, right? My I can and I will pencil sharpener, or pencils that have, look, I have Faber-Castell Pitt pens in here, and um, ooh, I got one of these at the bank. Who uses these bad boys anymore? But I thought it would be good to collage. I have receipts, some more Lush stuff. I collect these. So I got a Tim Hortons coffee tee, but it's huge. I can fit an 8.5 by 11 book. Okay, so see this Harry Potter book? I can fit that bad boy in here, right? Oh my goodness, Gene. So I like this one because I can fit my biggest. It would be heavy. Don't get me wrong. I could probably fit all my fancy books in here. But like I said, this is an investment. It's an all leather purse. Um, so it's definitely an investment. So thank you, Simon. Oh, I'm gonna have that forever. And then, Roots purses. Here's the thing: Roots purses don't go out of style, right? They really don't. So they're timeless, and they're very good quality. Very good quality. Oh, I got a Roots wallet too, but it's in the living room. But so they wrapped it. I was telling, is Janet still here? Yeah. They wrapped it in this because they had this whole sock monkey kind of theme going on, which, Canadian, we had this, like, if you got old wool socks, this is kind of what they always use for wool socks. Um, but I'm going to send Janet this ribbon. Go back to zooming in here. I'm going to give my friend Janet this ribbon because she loves sock monkeys. But yeah, look, see? Sock monkey ribbon. But now they do. It's a Canadian brand, but they sell it in the US now. I'm not sure if they have stores or not. They started selling it in the US. What, Gene? Gene probably remembers when the Olympics. See, if you're gonna shade like this, when the Olympics were in, when did Roots sponsor the Canadian Olympics? Was it when they were in BC? Anyway, so if I'm gonna blend so much, especially with the darker color with the black in there, um, I probably didn't need to do these strokes over here, right? But, and then, say, okay, let's look at the difference. Right here, I put the black in somewhere in the middle. And, oh, I need one of those adorables. Um, so let's show you, I'll put the black on first. And so you don't see the black. The shading I did on this cover page I have for my binder, you can't tell that I put black on this particular. Roots started in Calgary in 1988. Yeah, I used to wear Roots shirts, and even their clothes are really good quality. But anyway, so you can't tell that there's black here, or maybe I put too much dark black in here on the blue, for example. There's definitely sometimes I use a complementary color to get a darkish gray, right? To get the gray a darker color. All right, so I put black. See, I'm yapping all night again today. Night, Linda. I hope doesn't. I hope people don't mind me yapping about that type of stuff. Less yap, more art. All right, so I started with the black, and now I'm gonna pull it down into the flower. So these are Pablo's. I'll try to hurry up here and maybe do. What time is it? 11:25. Holy smokers! 2 hours of gabbing. This is the only coloring we've done in 2 hours. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. If you're new here, sometimes we do art journal pages and I'm not talking so much. But hey, I love when people talk at me. So, all right, so I pulled it down with the darkest color. And I've also been practicing or testing. Okay, what happens if I go all the way from the top? So if I had the darkest color, right? And I have the mid color here. I'm practicing if I go all the way to top to the bottom with every color, right? Not practicing is not the right word. I'm testing. Or, for example, if I have the darkest color, maybe not black, purple over here. If I take the darkest, whatever color I'm using, and then if I go to the next color, I'm not going all the way. I'm just kind of blending from the bottom or almost the bottom of that color down, right? I mean, haven't done it dark enough. I haven't put enough layers on the darker colors first. So I'm trying to see what the difference is. And the same thing, I would go, that lightest color down. I was doing that one too fast. Does that make sense? These ones that I've been doing here, I'm coloring no matter, I'm doing the whole thing with this color. And then when I go with the middle color, again, I'm coloring the whole thing, pulling it down from top to bottom, right? Well, I'm going further down, you know what I mean, with the lighter color. But I'm putting the lighter color on top of the darker ones every time. Rather, like I said, compared to this side, let's go with the black. A little bit of the black on here. So I build up the layers of the dark till it's you know, the shade that I'm looking for, till it's solid, and then I'll go with the next darkest color. But I'm not going from the top to the bottom. I'm just working that bottom edge with the next color, right? And I just continue blending that way. I don't know if there's a right way or wrong way. That's why I'm kind of practicing both. And then again with the middle color, see how I'm going in the middle? I'm not going from, like you saw me over here, continuing going from the top to the bottom. Hey, Di. I promised Di a long time ago I was going to send her this Harry Potter journal I have that I got at Disney. Like, I actually got it when I was in Florida for work. See, look, I'm so used to doing it that way, I just did it again. I just saw it again, found it the other day. You know, here I am in the BAM club, bottom out mailing club. But hey, I just sent out 15, 16, 17, 18, 21 things of mail. So I go in and I go out. I'm trying. That's again one of my New Year's resolutions. I'm trying. So when I do the lighter color, I'm just, again, can you see I'm just doing the bottom part? Whereas the other way, I'm starting from the top. I'm constantly going and blending mostly from, constantly pulling it down. So I don't know if that's the right or wrong way, or which either one is right. I'm just kind of playing around with both ways. And I'm sure there's other ways too that I don't know about. So, you can be as finicky as you want. You can blend as much as you want or the least as you want, right? You overheated your electric sharpener, or you did all 24 Verathins. Oh my goodness, overheated. Sweet goodness, Jean. But I find this way, by not going from top to bottom, it is a little bit quicker. But I mean, I still will go back in with the darks. If I don't think it's dark enough up here, I'll still go back up here. Am I on camera? And then go to the middle one. And of course, you don't have to use 4 colors either. You can only use 3. You can only use 2 if that's what you want, right? Again, it depends on how seamless you want your blending. And I'm not using any solvent or blender. I'm blending with the pencil. That's because I'm practicing it that way, right? I want to get really good at doing it this way, right? All pencil. And then, um, did you try sharpening? The thing about electric sharpeners that I was reading about somewhere, I can't remember where, is that you every once in a while you need to just put a regular graphite pencil through it it like cleans it and lubricates it. But I am, like I said, I'm pressing pretty light, and when you have a sharp tip like this, all you can do is press. You can't press too hard, you're gonna break the bad boy. All right, I'm not gonna finish this whole flower. You can see the difference, right? Can you see the difference? And obviously I didn't blend this one as much as that one or put as much pigment on the bad boy. The hardest part, anytime I've done this online or if I do it in person, it's the same thing. I look at it and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. And I constantly am tweaking it. I'm tweaking it. Yeah, Jean says the graphite cleans off the wax of the blades. So it's like I'm having a hard time stopping. You have to say, back away from the pencils, Paula. Back away from the pencils. Let me show it on this side. Let's see if we only do um, the dark and the middle, right? We'll only do 2 colors. 2 colors. I'll do it on this particular flower. Do the dark. Am I on camera? Man, I've talked a lot to you guys today. I've talked at you, what, 3 hours this morning, 3 hours today. You guys gotta be sick of hearing my voice. I guess I'll go to the middle. So it all depends, like I said, how seamless do you want it to blend, right? Or how much do you want it to blend? How vibrant do you want it to be? How much do you want it to pop out from your page? That type of thing. So this is that. I'm only using these 2 pencils, the darkest color and one one that's a little bit darker than the Sharpie that I put down. So remember, this is Sharpie I'm going over. There's no difference to me whether you use whatever marker you use. Uh, Whichever marker you use. I'm not sure if Robin is still here because that's what she was asking. If pencil would go over Sharpie. alcohol marker. I don't know if you'd want to do it the other way around, but you know what I mean, Vern. So even with two colors, you can get some nice blending. You know, pretty. Um, Ali's not sick of hearing. See, I got lots to say because I didn't stream the 2 Wednesdays ago because I wasn't feeling well. Saturday, oh, I was so frustrated. I couldn't get a thing going at all. Wednesday I had internet problems. So I haven't talked to you for a week and a half. So I got lots to say. Got lots to catch up on. So see, you can get, I mean, then if I added black, two colors plus black, you know, you get a little bit more pop, I suppose. But again, it all depends how, what, how much time you have, the look you want. All right, so those are with only two colors. This is only with two colors and a little bit of black. And if you compare it to, I should have done it closer. But see how this one's going to pop out more. And it's a little bit more seamlessly blended because I'm using three colors. And this one, I'm using two. Still nicely blended, but, hey, Jennifer, still nicely blended, right? Get a little bit of extra oomph, but it's not going to pop out as much as this bad boy. Or not as seamless as that bad boy. So don't think you have to have a ton of pencils but I need to at least have two shades. And that's why I struggle a little bit with the polychromos because they don't, the set that I have doesn't even have a pink. And I know you can blend red and white and get your own, but uh, so it's hard to test some of those things when you don't have enough colors. But like I say, I have to buy them open stock, even though it's more expensive to buy them open stock, because what am I going to do? If I want to get the 60 colors of polychromos, I mean, I'm not going to get all, sorry, I wasn't on camera there. I'm not going to get it all, night sharing. You know, I think there's polychromos, how many? 120? Like, I can't afford 120. That's for sure. So 60, even though the 60 set's still pretty expensive, but then you'd have double. Okay, again, you can play around with that as much as you want, but one's going to pop out more if you have more colors, a little bit more seamless, and you know, see how it's more muted on that side. So here's what I was talking about with the, oh boy, oh boy, oh yeah, here it is, the Prismacolor Verithin. I even bought more than one of black. You can buy them in open stock too. So if you look over here, right, where I've gone over the lines with the pencil, okay? Not that it matters, right? But I like the look. I want it to pop out, especially if it's like a coloring book page like here. So because the Verithins are hard pencil, it's you're able to go over no matter how many layers I put on. So for example, let's do so here's an example. Here we have, this is the before. So I'm going to just take the Verithin in black and I push down. I go right over the line from the coloring book. Oh, I broke it. That's what happens when I'm looking one eye on chat, one eye on what I'm doing. The Verithins, you don't need to be like have the sharpest tip going because they're already really fine. But they're a lot harder, so you can, oh, am I not on camera? How many colors of Sharpies do I have? Well, I just got the largest set of Sharpies you can get is 24. And I had some that I've had for years and years. The Sharpie brush markers, which I really love. I think I did this green and Sharpie brush. I use Sharpie, you guys know I use Sharpie brush markers in my art journaling a lot. Don't use regular Sharpies I'm sure all of us have done it. I've killed a ton of Sharpies trying to use the regular size Sharpies on paint or gesso, craft paint. They're going to dry right up. But something's different with the Sharpie brush markers. You can write over all that paint. And then you can do some cool ghosting techniques like I showed. So I just go over where I've crossed over the line and black it, darken it back out so that, again, it even pops even more, right? See how you can see here's a little bit more. Where did I not do it? Oh yeah, up here. So it's a little bit lighter, where here you're a little bit darker, right? It's gonna pop out more as well. And you don't have to buy the full 24 set of Verathins, although they're not. I think you can get 12. I think they actually have 36, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people, I know my friend Darcy likes to use them in tiny, tiny areas as well. But so far, to be honest, I have 24, but so far I've only ever, used the black. Yeah, so the Sharpies, there's only 12. 12, they only have 12 colors of Sharpie brush markers. But I don't know how many colors of Sharpies they have, but it seems like you can only buy a 24 pack. That's what I just bought. I bought the ones called it called Electro Pop colors, I think. But I also bought some Bic Marks It, which are the pretty much the same. So I mean, I do all my coloring first, and going around it with black is the last step to really, like I said, pop it out again. Oh yeah, Canada, we had the deal of the century. I mean, we joke around with each other how we're all enablers or whatever, and thank goodness I was happened to be in that chat. My wonderful friend Music Scrap Jean said, "Oh, they have a big deal on Canadian Amazon for I'm gonna put these Pablos away. Well, I gotta finish this page, so I'm gonna employ the Colleen technique, scrap chick technique, and put the ones I'm using in there. So Jean said, "There's a big deal of the day on Prismacolor on Amazon.ca. They have the 150 set for $99 Canadian." And we're like, "What?" So of course I had to buy another one. But I mean, that deal. When I first bought my Prismacolors, well, in the summer, the 150 set, it was $170, and that was cheap. That was on sale. But the big set, when they went for 99 Canadian, that's an unbelievable deal, my friends. Like I can't say it enough. So thanks, Jean, you enabler, you. But they also had Verathins, um, Night, Jan. I didn't even see you come in, my friend. Hello and good night. The Verathins were also like 55 or 60% off, whatever it was. Huge discount. And that's where I got my watercolor pencils. It was only for that one day. Prismacolor watercolor pencils for cheap. I'm telling you, we'll probably never see a deal like that again. Okay, so let's look at the Prismas. I'm going to do another one over here with the Prismas. Unbelievable price. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have. Oh, yeah. I was going to say I shouldn't have put them away. They're right here. So, Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils are oil-based. Prismacolors are wax. So, I'm going to try to choose. And usually, I've got my swatch book out. Well, those are the reds. I'm going to have to get the purple ones out. Because well, not on camera. This one's a purple more than a. But I usually have my swatch book out to see. Yes, I swatched all 150. I think I'll use Dahlia Purple. Well, not quite the same. I'm just trying to, I don't usually worry too much, but I'm just trying to show you the difference between, I guess I'll use, I'm lost without my swatch book. Well, doesn't have to be the exact colors. I guess I'll use a crimson. No, this mulberry. I'm going to use mulberry. Well, that's not bad news. Carmine red. That's not the one I wanted for sure. I'm going to use mulberry, processed red, and a white one. Good night, Islander. She calls me almost Islander. My friend lives on Vancouver Island. I do have family on my mother's side on Vancouver Island. My dad's side's from, I'm going to use this pink. My dad's side's from Newfoundland, which is an island. Blitzy has Prima watercolor pencils on sale. And those Prima watercolor pencils are made by, oh rats, you guys should, Spectrum Noir, which match the Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. Okay, same thing. So I'm going to do this so that we can see it. From this side, I'm going to do it over here. And my black. I'm going to have to use the Scholar. I don't know where all my black pencils went. Like, what's going on? This is a travesty, my friends. A travesty. I don't, like, how can I go from having doubles to having none? You know what I mean, Vern? Something is not right over here. Something is not right. I guess, again, I'll have to use the Scholars, I suppose. Strange. Very strange. Well, I almost had a heart attack. Well, I shouldn't say heart attack, but you know what I mean. I was stressed out because I counted my Pablos and I'm like, oh no, oh no. I couldn't find my one color of Pablos, and here I left it. I was telling my niece when she was sick that day, I'm telling her, don't touch the Pablos. Don't touch the Pablos. You use these Stampin' Up! Woodless ones. And then I was using the Pablos, so of course I left them. Somehow my sister found it in the couch. Here I'd lost it. I mean, you can't have it was a blue especially. Can't lose a Pablo. Alright, so again, I started with the black. I'm going to go in with the mulberry. But again, whether they're waxed or oil, like I said, Gary Green, I haven't researched the Pablos and the polychromos as much as I've used the Prismacolor. So again, I can't recommend either one. Hey, I think they're awesome. But some people say, oh, is this worth the money? Because those bad boys are expensive, right? So I'm not going to tell you guys to go out and buy whatever until I really have used them enough. And I mean, I don't even have the real fancy Luminance pencils by Karen Dosh. So like these bad boys they're an investment, my friends. They are an investment. I do find that, I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong, that I do have to put a few more layers on with the Prismas than when I use the Pablos or the Polychromos. I'm not sure why. And you gotta remember to turn your pencil. That was what I was doing at the beginning. I thought I couldn't figure out why was I getting these big spots. I was getting these chunks of look at my dark blues for my black. That's a good idea. Tis a good idea. Indigo blue. It's really strange. I mean, I must have them somewhere in a different pencil case. Maybe the one that I took. Indigo. No, I think I just have them in different. I've got pencils and you know what I mean, Vern. Everywhere. Everywhere. What? Oh, that's a Scholar. Oh yeah, I've got two Scholar black. They come with two blacks, two whites in the Prismacolor Scholar set. But I may be in the purple. Nope. I think I have them in a different. I'm pretty sure I have them in different pencil cases. You know, because if I'm traveling, if I'm doing something, I'm only bringing the particular pencils that I'm working on that um, polychromos are better. They melt with a lot less water. Oh, they're talking about watercolor pencils now. All right. I don't know. It just seems I have to. I can get a smoother look with the oil based, but like I said, I need to smoother look quicker. I need to I need to research more, my friends. I need to research more. I like them all. That's the problem. I like them all. I want them all. Check Simon's golf bag. He doesn't have one, but let me tell you, my friends, I watch a lot of golf. I love to watch golf on TV. That's what I'm coloring. I love Jason Day. Well, who can't love Jordan Spieth? But my or um, not Rory McIlroy. Rats. What's his name? Well, I like to watch Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy, and oh my gosh, the guy who always wears orange. Somebody knows who he is. Maybe Patty. Oh my gosh, it'll come to me here in a shortly. And I probably used too much black on this one as well. Too much black. You know, Phil Mickelson I like too, but this is a young guy. He's sponsored by Puma. Rats. So again, now maybe I chose a little bit different colors, right? That's what I was saying. You're not going to find the exact colors um, between each sets, right? Vibrancy, you know, they're all vibrant, in my humble opinion. So this is the very, very thin. Just because, and I do it last, right? Because you don't want to do the black very thin if you're still going to shade the, oh yeah, Snedeker. Oh, he's one of my favorite guys. I never remember his name. Just because he wears a flat bill. Oh, he was wearing some jeggings the other day. Like, he's trendy. I just love him. Ricky Fowler. He's a trendsetter. Love him. But I like to, yeah, Ricky Fowler. That's right. Did you Google that, Ange? You must have Googled that. Night, Iffy. Shireen. Okay. So see what I mean? I want to continue blending that Prisma. But probably because I'm being too, I don't want to say the A word. I'm being um too picky about it. And you definitely get the more waxy stuff, so you gotta kind of pull it down. And but anyways, you're gonna see a different color, right? Obviously, I've got slightly different colors going on here than I do over here. So it's not, where's my white, my pink here? Um, it's not totally a good comparison. But yeah, what I was saying was when I first started, I would get these like dark, you know, I get some dark spots. And then I realized it's because I was using the same pressure, but if I wasn't turning my pencil, then you're getting a real sharp um, edge on it. Know what I mean, Vern? So I try to turn my pencil more often so I don't get those crumbly bits. But you can definitely, between the wax and the oil, you can definitely tell. You can feel a difference. Can you feel a difference? I can feel a difference. Ange Googled it. Ricky Fowler. I love Ricky Fowler. All right. I'm probably missing Jordan Spieth right now. I got it taped. Don't worry. I got it taped. All right. See the difference? Now this pink is not the right pink. So the pink that was in the Pablos was much closer to the pink that, that were in the, well, that I chose anyways. Maybe I should have used hot pink. Different colors, right? Sometimes I'll go over it with white to change the color too. This is a white Prisma. But I guess this is called burnishing. Some people will burnish with a blender, or I burnish with a white. I don't know. But again, oops, not on camera. The hot pink would have been closer. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's harder, especially if I don't have my swatchy book. That's why I like to swatch my pencils. I like to swatch my pencils so that I can pick the right colors. Oh, there's no right and wrong colors, right? But all right, so it depends on in here. Maybe I use more black on these ones, maybe not. Night, Terry. Hi and bye. Sometimes I miss people coming in. It's almost my bedtime too. But you know, I find, I mean, you're gonna get that shiny, those shiny, the sheen from it, right? But I mean, they look just as good. So is it the ease of use? This is what I mean. I need to use them more. See, look, Judy Patooty's just asking me which ones do I like better. I can't say yet. I truly can't say because I don't have enough practice with my Pablos or my polychromos, mostly because I don't have all the colors, um, or not as many colors. But truly, I feel like I get quicker results. I did that whole test one time with that a while ago. Now I don't remember if that's even recorded. And but like I said, that's just an educated guess. I'm not educated enough. So hey, it depends on how much you want to shade. Play around with it. Try light over dark, dark over light. You know, blending from top to bottom, only blending halfway. I don't know what's the right way or the wrong way, but try different ways and see which one you like. You know what I mean, Vern? I like all the pencils. Sorry. All the colors. I want all the pencils. Oh, Laurel. Laurel says she barely stays in the line. She's full of you know what. She's been I can remember watching Laurel using Prismacolors and what used to use Undo years ago. Undo. Hey Margot. This is layered first with Sharpie. Yeah. I use Sharpie on this one. You know what? I definitely use Sharpie on the green. There's my white. Scholar black. Scholar black. So yeah. I think, in my humble opinion, an electric pencil sharpener is a really good investment. A really good investment. I think it works awesome. Like, look at this. This is stubby. Not that it's bad, right? Like, you know what I mean, Vern. It's okay if you have one that's stubby. Um, ouch! I just poked myself. You gotta be careful. These bad boys can get sharp when you use this one. Right? These bad boys get sharp. They're pokey. Yep. Gamasol. Undo. Did Laurel say? Goo be gone. That was right. That was before this whole craze. And Vicky BR likes to say that talk about people using Vaseline. Let me tell you, and I agree. Was it Eileen that said that? One of our friends. Anyways, one of my friends said same thing. If I was using Vaseline, my pencils would slip off. Like it would be a disaster. A disaster, my friends. Um, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyone who played with stamps before this coloring, that's why I said I bought those pencils probably because Laurel had them. The barrel one, not the barrel ones, sorry, the Sanford ones in, 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe six. Okay, it's almost time for me, my friends. It's that hour. But look, it's almost time for me every time I do this. And here I am. Can't put it down because it doesn't look blended. Oh, so I gotta do more. I gotta do more. It's addicting. So I hope you enjoyed some of this. I know that a lot of people went to bed. Um, I got it's all recorded. Got 2.5 hours of me yapping. This morning got 3 hours of me yapping about other stuff. So you got a lot of yapping from me lately. Yeah, over marker like Didi taught us is just quicker, right? I can do all this without the marker, but let me tell you, you're gonna be shading. You're gonna be let's see, which is the darkest one I was using. You know, you gotta go over multiple layers and have a really sharp pencil to get the vibrancy. Know what I mean, Vern? Does that make sense? So because the tooth of the paper is already covered up with a marker or whatever, I was showing Peerless at the beginning. Well, I didn't try it. My computer was rebooting. I had to reboot my computer when I first started, and I'm looking up at my watercolors because they're sitting right in front of my face when I'm streaming, and I'm like, hey, I got some Peerless that I never use. Oh, well, I would forget to use them, right? And I mean, I have Peerless two ways, like Jean, like in a binder, but I cut small pieces off. Yeah, see you tomorrow at noon, Patty. Inky Obsessions. Um, so what's her name? Jane Davenport showed the Peerless. You cut a piece of it and put them all in here, the smaller pieces, wherever you want to put them. There's a page protector in between. But here's what I was looking at: Arbitros pink, and you get a water brush. Like Carol, aka Renee. So say I want to pick up some pink over here. What do I want pink over here? Maybe this flower. And this is a fine tip. Let me tell you, this is a made in Japan Kiritaki, and people have their own preferences, right? But with a water brush, you're not putting much water on it, right? So depends if you want to use marker, maybe you want to use this type of thing. These are good to travel with as well. And then you can use pencil on top of this. But let me tell you, I quickly forget about my Peerless. Quickly forget. Peerless come in. Oh man, I'll show you. Hold the fort. I definitely don't want to craft a lunch with my fancy with those things. Bought this book at Dollarama because Jean gave the hint, and they come. They oh, I mean, I've had these Peerless for a long time, and then they came out with Jane Davenport colors. So, um, so here they are. They're Nicholson's Peerless transparent watercolors. They look like this. They come in a book. I mean, I've had them for a long time. Anyways, I've had so much for a long time. If you've been around here enough, you know that that I have a lot of supplies I haven't used in a long time. So when they come, if you want to put them in a photo sleeve, right? You cut them. When you cut them down, you get this little piece, right? Whoops. So to fit in the photo sleeve, you know what I mean? See how it's the same width? To fit in the 4x6 photo sleeve to store them that way. And then I got them swatched. Well, I got them swatched in both spots, right? Underneath. And it's like a dry. So as soon as you like see that one, when you read it though, so when you read it, it says you can cut it. You cut a piece off and put it in a like on a palette, you know, one of the palettes that have the wells, and it's supposed to dissolve, and then you got a watercolor. But I've never seen anybody. I've only ever seen anybody take it direct off thing. So they come in longer sheets in a booklet, and you know, I have what came into the booklet on this side, so I know the color name and a sample. And because, like I said, because they cut it like this, then you have the little. But I mean, you can, if you don't want to use the two sides, you can cut whatever you want. You can cut a 1 by 1 inch square and put it and have a travel one. You can do 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch if you want. So yeah, these are originals, but then there's other colors that Jane Davenport. Um, anyways, I don't think they're that expensive. It's been a long time since I bought them. Um, yeah, so that's it. Sorry. You were 65 degrees today, Martha? It was warm here too. The other day was -20 with the wind chill. I was freezing my butt off. I was wearing a toque inside. It was so cold, but now I've got a snugly heated blanket. It's the best thing ever. All right, so I'll see you guys on the webs. I'll definitely see you guys again on Wednesday over here, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And like I said, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You never know when I'm gonna give away some racks and stuff like that. Sometimes I do giveaways in the chat here, but but anyways, I'm reading. Wednesday we'll probably do, you know, art journaling or something. Probably won't do me doing coloring. All right, I gotta do a lot of cleaning tomorrow myself. I filled everything out. I filled everything out in my book, and I'm gonna be doing it tomorrow. Okay, thanks everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm just gonna